Alright, before you guys go and harass me down in the comments, I'm going to make it clear to you all that I have acquired better technology and better software to help improve the quality of my videos, so I would like to implement it. Thus, the reason why we are back at an old favorite. That's right, the Lewis and Wilson Mine, number 2, main slope entrance. I've also obtained new information, so I'll try and explain with greater clarity than any of the other uploads on this particular opening. Without any further ado, let's get started. This is obviously the cutout where they excavated the clay and dirt until they came upon the natural formation. Approaching the entrance gets much more peaceful, which is quite a calming sensation. Turn the headlamp on. Whoops, not strobe. There we go. That'll suffice. Alright, so there's some sheet metal, a piece of cable. There's also a few other pieces, but not really anything worth mentioning. Here's a well-preserved nail of sorts. The artifacts are able to preserve with such quality because of the lack of water. As you can hear water dripping, but nonetheless, there's definitely not as much condensation and such. There are some cave crickets up in that little crevice there. You can see these timbers. I believe they could be a platform or a former blockage. I'll get to that here in a second. That is remains of a ventilation pipe. The pipes continue along the sides, or in mine terms, the ribs, on both the left side and the right side. Alright. Quite the view, I must admit, behind us is that platform or blockage that I talked about previous. As you can see, the timbers haven't been stripped of their bark. If it's original, then that would be rather unusual because the mine operated in the 1940s and 50s, and that was quite a classical technique, more in the 1800s. But yeah, you never know. You can see another cave cricket right there. There are some timbers on the floor. If there's ever a pause between dialogue, it's most likely because the screen goes to screensaver on my GoPro, and you know, it's a bit of an inconvenience because I don't know what's happening and I can't see the world through the screen, I guess, if any of you can relate. Alright, there's actually a shale seam on the side. You can see what they were chasing. Well, not exactly coal yet, but I'm sure that, yeah, and you can see a little bit of dark seam down there, and that's exactly what they were looking for. Anyways, again, there's a better view of the ventilation pipes laying on the floor. There's a huge old timber sticking up right there. There is a drift right behind it. Up on the spine or ceiling, there are what I believe are 2 stalls. It's possible that timbers such as that one once held them up, but maybe they're just wedged in place so well that they just haven't, you know, been able to collapse, which is a good thing, of course. Anyways, well, I'm just going to make sure my headlamp's at full blast, which it is not. Ooh. Good thing I checked. Alright, so as I was saying, there is a drift behind that one timber, and then another drift going down that way. These drifts are consistent with the mine plans, and that one goes down to what would be the drainage slope, which still actually works correctly on an annual basis. I might show you that later, or in a future video. I think I have in the past, but you know, maybe I'll do an update on this particular Explorer. Way back in the distance, you might be able to see the timbers laying on the floor and maybe some props, which would be something similar to that one, which is sitting there currently. I say currently, of course, because, you know, there's always decomposition, and, you know, that's just nature. You can never stop it. Although, you know, things can be preserved. I'd never noticed, but look at all of the remaining wedges that are sitting on the wall. I'm not sure how well you can see that. Again, there's a lot of action in the distance. You know, you gotta wonder what sort of little bits and bobs are back there. If any of you are wondering, I like to be cautious, so I'm not going down to the bottom. Maybe at a later date, I might consider that with Adventures R Us, a channel which I would recommend. Yeah, that's a general overview. Hope that was a good presentation for you all. Good conclusive presentation, because as stated previous, this is most likely the last time that I'm doing a solo exploration of this mine. I say solo because I might go with Adventures R Us as stated previous. But yeah,